Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to today's New Bangladesh. Here, as usual, we shall discuss new citizens, new economy, new politics, new culture, new education, new people, overall, new Bangladesh. Today in our studio, as our guest present, Dr. Muhammad Taufiqul Islam. He is the director of Career and Placement Center of North South University. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Slump. So everything going well and very happy to with you all. Sounds good. That maybe this is my second time I'm here.
Today we have chosen this topic, that career and placement, that we have a number of complaints from our students, from our graduates, that they are completing the university, they are graduating from different universities. After that, they are facing difficulties in seeking job. But what should not be? We have 20 crore people and we have a very rich and wealthy country. So where is the problem, or where maybe the gaps there?
You already introduced me, even though I am, acting as a director of Career and Placement Center at the North South University. Simultaneously, I'm also professor of political science and sociology. And beside this, I'm also a governing body member of Bangladesh Palli Kormo Sahayak Foundation, PKSF.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the things that I found, we have almost millions of graduate.
Yeah.
And every year we do have graduate, maybe thousands of graduates. So, but the things that we have seen, even when I was in my former university at the AIV, I haven't seen that proper, the guideline for career and guidance for the students. Students, they get the admission and they have a dream, after bachelor, they will do something. Either they will go for higher study or maybe they are going to look for a job. So university got a responsibility to take care of this. The most of the students, well, sometimes they get the guidance from the parents, and sometimes they don't have guide at all. If university do not, they give the guidance. So that's why, the most of the prestigious university that do have a center, career and guidance center, career and placement center. But presently that I have been working at the North South, I found that this center is really working for the student compared to my previous university, if I compare. So they take it as their responsibility after complete their bachelor's or master's, how and where student going to move. So as part of this, I have seen, even though those things was not well known to me, the university supposed to do these things. Things that I found, we look for internship, we look for the student suitable job based on student demands. We do have a site where students drop their CV. We have a CV bank where student can submit, and that we do have a MOU with different local, national, multinational companies. So we, as per their requirements and the company demand, and we submit, the students submit their CV. Actually, students submit into our, the CV bank, and when company demand, so based on their demand, we send them CV. And one process, we do not collect any CV individually. The students have to submit it. And the company also, when they ask for any CV, we do not CV by choosing ourselves. We just, based on requirement, we send them all CV, and the company and the respective company, respective industry, they choose their, the candidate. They make a short list out of maybe thousands of CV, out of hundreds of CV. The things is like that.
Well, sir, really interesting. But the thing is that when I was young, that I was university student, we were told that we have unemployment problem in our country. That's why the graduates are not getting job or not getting the expected job. But today, what we understand, there are multiple causes, not only this. Moreover, economically, the country is more developed than 2-3 decades ago. So let's start from the very beginning. That in our families, do our parents properly guide our children to build up or to dream about their career?
Well, thank you. It's a good question. Actually, we should not blame our parents that they always should guide their children. You know, some parents may have some limitations, such as if parents is not properly educated. In that case, parents cannot guide their children. Or their, the things is, especially they may guide on their school student, and also college, but university level, which career would be the right career for the respective students. Sometimes parents are not concerned about this. Parents are giving financial support and other support, logistic support they have been providing. But university got a responsibility to guide their students. University's responsibility is not only producing their graduate. University cannot escape from that responsibility that they only is going to produce the graduate. The like private university, they're getting, of course, there is a high tuition fees is there, and government university professor also getting highly paid in that case. So every university institution, not only the respective teachers, university himself, the things that I have mentioned in case of career and placement center. I don't know how many university in their career and placement center they do have a namely, but in practically how they work, that is a question. But the things is, the student, and you think about yourself. If I think myself, when I was a school student, I did have a dream. And dream changed when I became college student. And dream changed when you became university student. The same in case of me also. The university, when we are, even though first year university, we consider the first year of the university, it is a honeymoon semester, we consider. But the reality comes end of the semester, what I am going to do. In that case, students also consider for their career, student may consider, and that this generation student, they have been considering. But university supposed to guide them. So university must need a counseling center that I have seen. University that do have a counseling center, career and placement center, but question is how much they are implementing. That is a question. So that should be mandatory part of the university, end of the semester from middle. So every student should get the counseling about their career. If they finalize their career, if they approach to that career, that is okay. Otherwise, the students who cannot decide what they are going to do in the future, so career center should give them the seminar, counseling, workshop, and others that we do at the North South University. And we have been conducting, when I came to the office, after that we have been conducting. And we are communicating with different companies, approaching for the internship, approaching for the employment opportunities. And I think things are going well at the place where I'm working. But one thing side by side, the university professors and university in their curriculum and policy must include the students may have a plan not only to get the job in future, what they can do. Only to get a job, then who will create the job in the market? To be entrepreneur. That you have seen Professor Dr. Yunus, the current chief advisor, who has been providing a lot of employment opportunities in this country, even in abroad also. So, and he mentioned that dream should not be like this, only you get a job and you work that. So I found that most of the students in my class also, in your class, my class also probably. So when we ask them, we want to work in a bank, we want to work in a multinational company, that sort of dream. Okay, you work certain, how long you going to work? Forever? No, you should not work in a bank for forever. You work for certain days or certain years to get the experience. And then you try to do something so that you can offer job to others. That, that sort of thinking we should give our student, so that student always think, well, not only my job. If I create job, I can give the opportunity for others. You see a tree seller And even if you give an example, the place where I live in Boshundora, there is a tea stall named Chai Adda. The person who started with himself, and now I think I have seen he do have several branch and he do have a lot of employee, maybe more than 50 employees is working there. It doesn't matter that somebody have to be a big entrepreneur. Even you start with small entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And that is the satisfaction. You are not working, you are giving opportunity for others by providing employment opportunities. That sounds great. You think we should need to think that way. Well, if I get a job, I ensure me and my family. But if I offer a job, I ensure other family, other person and his family members also. So if that way, everyone think, the like we came to the world not only for us, the satisfaction to come this world, I myself want to keep my until the last breath, so that I can be in good shape, and my other responsibility to help other people. That is the duties and responsibilities for every human being. So the things is my intention. And even though as a teacher, like I have been teaching at the university, I consider teaching is my passion for me. But now not now only, last maybe 5 to 6 years, I have been giving my attention to give the opportunity for other people, employment opportunities. How can we create a job for the people? And when I got involved in PKSF, Bangladesh Polli Karmo Sahayak Foundation, they also creating a lot of jobs at the market. And we, Narsut University, already we are going to finalize MOU with PKSF and with other NGOs also. So finally, I want to say everyone should have that sort of intention, creating job, not only to get the job. And that idea, not only by us, the student also need to think about this.
So there should be a cultural change in our mindset and environment, everything like this.
Exactly. Professor Dr. Ramit Azad point out the culture that we have. Well, after bachelor, after graduation, we will get a job. So we should come out from that culture. The cause we mindset of also. You see, we'll get a job, we'll look for a job, give me a job. But think that way, if you become an entrepreneur, if someone became an entrepreneur, even I have given for example for tea seller, in each and every sector, there is a huge opportunity for, the vegetable and food market, agricultural market also. But we have a tendency like, should we get involved in agricultural business? Agricultural business, now it is mostly maintained by some syndicate.
Yes.
But always I talk to my student, why don't you get involved in agricultural business? The farmers are not getting the actual price.
Yes.
That's why people, they don't want to continue their profession as a farmers. Farmers think it is a seasonal business, it is a risk business, and it is not a professional business. And it is not a prestigious business also.
Yes.
But if students, the young generation get involved in, the farmers also will be happy to see that young graduates are getting involved in agricultural business. And this business has a huge opportunity. If I compare with United States, if I compare with Japan, that I have seen, young people, they got involved in agricultural business.
Yes. Even in China.
Even in China also, yes, recently in China. So in Bangladesh, we do have, as you said, the culture, that mindset up. We look for a job, multinational company, or look for a job in a financial institution, a prestigious place, United Nations, or something like that. But we have still a lot of opportunity in the agricultural sector, food sector. Some students are getting, but the number is very few. But we should give that attention to the agricultural sector to get involved in.
I remember the founder of BIRD, Mr. Akhtar Hamid, he was a pioneer, I think. And he was a big bureaucrat. And however, he left his job and started working with BIRD. And he told that I could finish my life being a big wig bureaucrat, but I didn't do it. Probably the famine of 1943 changed his mindset that we should do something. What you told, that Yeah, those people are very poor. Okay, those people are not educated. They cannot change their fate. But we are educated. Okay, we are not that poor, so we can try to change the fate of our poor people. So he started working with that bird and others, and probably it changed a lot in that region, even
Ex-
in whole Bangladesh. I think
Exactly, exactly.
you live not very
One of
far
the
from
best
bird. Yeah.
example that you have given, you know, the like the mindset up and culture, that traditional thinking, we should come out. You know, the like not only to get a job, the way Mr. Akhtar that you talked, that he may complete his life with a big bureaucrat,
Bureaucrat, yeah.
but he was thinking that I should do something so that, you know, the people may have an opportunity for employment. Okay, so and creating some job, and that is a satisfaction, and it's really a satisfaction when you. I have found also in case of me, when I can offer a job for someone, I really feel happy, and that way I consider maybe I have been providing a job for a family. You know, just give some money, that doesn't decrease the, you know,
Yeah.
the dependency, it increase the dependency. You
Yeah.
give some cash money to
Cash money,
someone,
yeah.
it increase the dependency actually. But creating a job so that that person can survive by
Yes.
doing so, and his family also, you know, the a person, when you help a person, so that helping his family also to be dependent. So we have to think that way. You know, that during the festival, we give some penny, we give some cash money. So, well, that is a helping, but that increase the dependency. So in that case, if we can create job from someone, for someone, if we can create employment opportunity for someone, that really helps, and that really decrease the, you know, the like dependency of the country. And we, all of we, you know, especially the big entrepreneur, and the rich person, industrialists, they have a lot of responsibility for this. Well, some big companies they are doing, that sounds good. But the most of the big companies, they want to increase their maybe financial volume number of, but should give that. I found, you know, if I compare with Japan, big company, every companies, not only the big size company, medium size also, they got a responsibility that is called social responsibility. Are you creating some job for the destitute people, poor people, or are you offering job? How many you offered? In that case, they may reduce their tax if they get involved in, you know, the like social business or engage in people by offering job. So the way they can reduce their taxes. So we may have that sort of things also, and we rarely found that sort of things. We found some entrepreneur, they really try to create more job in the market so that, you know, the upcoming generation, they get the job. And one more observation that I found in case of our country, we are producing a lot of graduate, but in which area? We need to see the market demand. So what sort of graduate at this moment we need in the market, in local market and also international market. So we should give the counseling for the students, or you better study in this area. Not only the basic area. Once you have seen, there was a fever of BBA graduate. Now millions of BBA graduate. And then we have seen the triple E graduate. Now there is a millions of triple E graduates.
Yes.
Now there is a fever of CSC.
Yes.
Well, that fever may continue, but we need to think about the graduate, which subject. Sometimes, you know, the young student, they cannot choose. So one more thing that we need, you know, the like that I have seen in case of Japan, after high school, that is equivalent to Bangladesh's college. After
HSC.
HSC, exactly.
Yes.
Even after SSC also,
Also.
they do have, you know, the like open campus. They invite the school student, they invite the college students also, and they each and every department of the respective university, what they do, they demonstrate. Okay, if you study chemistry in future, you have a path like this. If you study physics, then you have a future opportunity for this area. If you study economics, then you will have opportunity in the future. These are the way that you can achieve your goals, and you maybe going to be an economist, you may be work in economy, any company or any industry that is related to emphasis on economics. If you study English literature, then in the future, then you may have this way of path. You see, one more thing that is my observation. In Bangladesh, we have a common trait. You study English, you speak everything. But my consideration to speak English is nothing special. When you were a school student, we were a school student, you see, we did have choice for Pali, Sanskrit, and Arabic also. You see the recent trend, so most of the students, they have a common thinking in their mind, we speak English, we speak everything. But I have seen in Japan that you have an option at the school level. Three, four languages, Spanish, French, Arabic. We can
Chinese today.
Yes, we may give the option based on world demands, based on global demand. We may give this option for our student. Now, maybe Chinese language, Japanese language, maybe French, maybe Spanish, maybe Arabic. We may give them option based on student interest. So every student must choose some additional language except Bangla and English. I repeat, as a Bengali, as a Bangladeshi, it is our native language. So, and by born, we study English from the school, so it is not special. Beside English and Bangla, how many languages you do speak? That will be the specialty. And I met a person when I've been to the United States. That person who speak 39 different languages. You see, the human brain is super duper. And that we can achieve from the school. And the school life, we do have a vast memory. As per medical science 3 to 12, everything we can memorize easily. But if you give me some task to memorize something at this stage, will be a difficult assignment for me. But we should give that option from the school. That is my, the suggestion for each and everyone. And we need to, in that case, we need to change our curriculum also.
Very nice point. You pointed out a very important thing, that language. When I was in Georgia, in Tbilisi State University, I studied. Our associate dean, he spoke all European languages. I was surprised. Not only English. Once I asked, do you speak Swedish, sir? He told, yes, I speak Swedish. Such a smart person he was. Yeah.
You see, even when I was in Japan, I found that my professor who do speak Bangla, who speak some Tamil also. He speaks some Thai also. And again, I repeat, he said, speak English is nothing special.
Yeah.
So the thing is, every student has that capacity. But if we offered them at the university student, maybe they are not interested. But we should start it from the school. And university also should entertain, and it must have some department. And North has, the Chinese language center, and Japanese, for Japanese also we do have. But how many universities they do have? And again, I repeat, that should start from the school.
As a physicist, I know that human brain is the most complicated thing in this world, even more than a black hole, So human brain can do many things.
Many things, exactly.
Things. Yeah. As regards languages, you see, there is a huge market in Middle East, but the barrier is the language barrier. If our students could speak Arabic, they could find a better job there. And we have huge number of madrasas. If those madrasas teach them modern Arabic, that would be also very much helpful for them in job market.
Good point. You see, we have been teaching, we have been learning Arabic. That is a mandatory, almost mandatory for the Muslim religion, that we need to read the Quran, and that's why from our early childhood we study about this. But to speak that language, how many people we can read Quran, but we cannot communicate. We don't know the meaning. Even though when we visit some Arabian countries, we can read, but we don't know the meaning. That one is a very important point. From early childhood, if we can teach the students, the person or children who is learning, the Arabic, the modern language, the modern Arabic, so that they can communicate. Our millions of workers who is working in Middle East, they had to learn Arabic when they are there. But if they can learn before going to any Arabian countries, any I mean the Middle East, if they can learn, that may add their value in the respective job. And they may get the highest consideration also. We have seen, the Pakistani people is getting priority because they can communicate in Arabic and they learn it from their respect or home country. We can do this. And another example, we do have in North South, we do have the two centers like BJET and BMED program. And BJET is for engineering graduate that we have a MU with some Japanese companies. After complete the bachelor's from CSC background, we offered them and we asked them to apply, and out of all candidates we select them and we teach them Japanese language. And after a certain level, then that students have opportunity to go in Japan by having a direct job. So even BMED program, it is not only for engineering student, even the business school student and other discipline also. So that is only, I think, North-South University that do have. I don't know about other university. So that one, you see, the Japan nowadays, due to their, the population is decreasing trend. The trend is population ratio is declining.
In Japan.
In Japan, and they are, they're hiring a lot of people in different discipline. And when I met the last time, the Japanese cultural secretary, the first secretary, he said that maybe out of all South Asian country, Bangladesh has less, the candidate. And if we have, the more graduate with the level of Japanese language. Japanese language, that you have 5 levels, the level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, and level 1. After, just like IELTS also has some certain level. So if you can complete the level 4, then especially if you're a technical person, you may have a job, Japan, directly. And you don't have to pay a single penny for this. The company is ready to hire you. So, and that way, Japan, from Vietnam, from China, Korea, even Nepal also. There's so many Nepalese. Now they are working in Japan. But the things that they did, they have a MU with Japan and they are producing that graduate with Japanese abilities. But our problem, we have a lot of graduate in different discipline. And they are the really smart graduate. If you compare with other, the South Asian countries. But the lackings, they don't speak Japanese. We can invest for English language 12 years. You see, from grade 1 to 12, so 12 years, even in some cases 14 years. We are spending for 14 years for English language, but we don't want to spend a year for other language. But I'm sure if a student spend maximum a year, can achieve the level 4, in some cases level 3 also, then we can spend that one. And it doesn't mean, that you stop everything, then you study only Japanese. Simultaneously, you can do this. So we need to focus that one. It's very important task to the study other languages.
Language skill is very much important.
Exactly.
Okay, I have the experience. I speak a third language, that is Russian language, and I worked in Moscow in a very big corporation, and my language skill helped me a lot. Even I was the head of the department there in that corporation. You see that that Russians and others worked under me. So language skill is obviously very much important. As far as I know, you do speak Japanese.
Yes, and because of this, I'm also getting a lot of priority and advantages also, as I do speak Japanese. The same way Russian you do speak. We learned that language based on our interest, and it was not a requirement for your maybe doctoral degree. It was not my requirement that I have to learn Japanese, but simply based on interest. But due to globalization, that global demand, now the graduate need to speak in different languages. And that will add their value at the CV. And getting a job will get the priority.
Okay, what I know, that I observed that not all Bangladeshis studying in Japan, doing their PhD, researchers and others, they are not that much interested in learning Japanese language, and they are coming back having a very little knowledge about Japanese language. Did you mark it?
Yes, exactly. I do agree with you. That is, we do have a culture, the
Yeah.
thinking, mindset up. Why are we going to learn other language? We speak English and it is working and I can do the research. I do speak English. That is a problem. You know, as you decided to live in a place, and if you learn that language, your lifestyle will be happy. You can communicate with different people. You know, when I was in Japan, my purpose was not only to learn from the institution. Well, from the institution that I was, university, different university, I learned from that institution. But there is something to learn from the society where you're living, maybe 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. So you're missing that opportunity if you don't speak that language. I found that as I was, able to communicate in Japanese, I had a lot of opportunity to meet with different people in the Japanese society, businessmen, old people, and working
Art,
people,
yeah.
young,
Art and
middle
culture.
age, art, culture.
Yeah.
And because of this, I did have in-depth knowledge about Japanese culture and society, how they work, how they communicate, and their mindset also. And some people, exactly, you are right. Even though they lived in Japan 6 years, even 10 years also, they only can communicate in greetings, nothing else. And if I ask them, sometimes also they ask me, you have a lot of friends. Why? I do have a lot of friends when I was in Japan because I was able to communicate their language. The same way, a foreigner who lives in Bangladesh, when we see he speak Bangla, we really appreciate and we really kind to them because we think, oh, he's learning Bangla. It means he loves Bangla, he loves our country, he loves our people. The same way, when I was in Japan, I was able to communicate in Japanese, so most of the Japanese, they appreciate it. And they think that way, maybe I love their culture, I love their language, I love their people. So that is the preliminary consideration, isn't it?
Yes.
So everyone, when they think to live in a place, they should learn that language.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's really difficult to get the in-depth idea about their society and missing a lot of opportunities to learn from that society. Even, I found that some of the people, when they transfer from a job from Barishal to Sylhet, the local accent is different.
Different.
So, a smart leaders of the corporate, a smart banker, always try to have the local knowledge. Without having the local knowledge, you cannot communicate with local people.
Local people.
And you are shifting, you are migrating one country to another country, then definitely you should speak that language.
Yes. Unless you know the language of that country, of that society, you cannot penetrate the society.
Exactly.
Yes, society.
Exactly.
And the Jewish people, when they travel somewhere, the first and foremost duty they do, that they learn the language of that local people. Okay, well, sir. And I want to recall that what our Honorable Chief Advisor told in our Mother Language Day on 21st February, that an educated person should have the ability to speak in 3-4 languages. Must have this ability. And recently, the acting chairperson of BNP, Mr. Tariq Rahman, he also told that they had the plan.
Yes, last time I have seen the acting chairperson,
Yeah.
Tariq Rahman, BNP
Yeah.
acting chairperson, and that rightly point out. And Professor Dr. Yunus, who is the global leader, and when he talks something about, so we got to understand, and it is very crystal that based on needs and based on that we really should emphasis on, should learn different language. And I found that nowadays the country that are moving, their young graduate are learning different languages. And I found that when I was in Japan also, every summer vacation, student travel in different places. And when they decide to travel in a countries, like a group of students maybe, they decided to, they travel in Vietnam. Before going to Vietnam, they learned that language. They try to, they learn about their culture. The JICA I found that, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, they are the real development partner for Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And, out of all, the like subsidies that comes from foreign aid, JICA, only JICA, they provide the one-third support for Bangladesh. And JICA, they do have a program. They give some, the like fellowship, they give some scholarship for the young students. They, the like when I was in Japan, I found that, the Japanese university undergrad student, they apply for that scholarship. And it is a scholarship for 6 months, 1 year, even some cases 2 years. And what are you going to do? You will choose a country where you're going to live. And you have to live in that country in which area? The area that represent that country. It means in that case, you have to live in a rural area, the most cases. And they select mostly the developing countries, not the developed countries, European countries. The purpose of this JICA program, they want their, the future generation to have an in-depth idea about the developing countries, where there is a lack of, the basic needs. So young students, they apply, and they select a country, maybe Bangladesh, maybe India, maybe Nepal. Then 6 months they have to live over there. And before going to visit that country, it is mandatory for the candidate, they have to learn that language. As they are going to live that country with a family, maybe they speak only their own language. They do not speak English or other language. And I met some of the graduate, one of my friend, she was selected for some places in India and very remote area. And that family, they did not have ability to have a separate house for her. The family used to live with a fence of house where a partition was there. Half of the partition, the cows and other animals was there, and the rest part, the family members, they used to live. So my friends, a Japanese friend, she was selected for that area and that family. And she said, when I asked her, how is your new place? At that time, I was a master's student in Japan. And she said, well, maybe first week I could not have a meal because of smell of cow dung. Because, as I mentioned, the smell of cow dung. And then second week, she was trying to adapt with that family. And the condition of JICA's, that fellowship, you have to live with them, eat with them, stay with them. You cannot take food from outside. First week, they allow. You bring foods with you for first week. And second week, the same food they take, you have to take that food. In that case, the family, they get the money they spend for the Japanese fellows. So family, they get the support for this, but not highly paid. The same amount, what she gonna share about the food, they pay this one. The second week, while she was partially was able to take some food, and then after that she adapted. And when she left that family, she said that, the smell of cow dung is the best perfume for me. I really miss that smell because she adapted with that family. The things, one of the major purpose for JICA, that fellowship program, well, you have to adapt with adaptation, to increase the adaptation for the young generation. You are living in a society where you get the all modern facility while you are in Japan. So you should know the place where is less advanced, how these people is surviving. And another friend who was selected for Papua New Guinea and used to select a family, that family members, they survive by having insects also. So Japanese students, the same lifestyle had to follow. To increase the adaptation for this program and to have different cultural diversity, especially like in our society, sometimes if you talk some young graduate or undergraduate student, have you ever visited in any rural area? No. Have you ever seen the rice where it comes from? No, I haven't seen.
Yeah.
So that things that I have seen in Japan, it is impossible for Japan. Every elementary student, they have to visit with a farmer family, they have to meet with different handicapped, disabled people, they have to visit in old home, they have to visit in less advanced area. And it is a part of their study. That's why I said we need to reform our educational curriculum.
We must have some industrial visits for our university students. Do we have enough this type of programs?
Well, we do have some industrial visits, especially for business school students, and in some cases, maybe pharmacy
For
students
science
also,
students as well.
science students also. But that is very limited number, and for short time, maybe once is his or her graduation lifetime, once or maybe 2 times, or maybe maximum 3 times. But that should be very frequent. And by visiting, they should submit a report, they should do some research also. And already the things that I have mentioned, that our curriculum need to reform from elementary school.
Yes.
And if we start from elementary school, then high school, college, and university, till we do have a curriculum at the university level, you see that we had to memorize a lot of things. We need to memorize a lot of things. Only memorize. But memorizing test, I think that is school is enough. Hattimatim tim tara mate pare dim tader kharar dutu sing tara hattimatim. That sort of memorizing test. University, look, school level memorizing capacity or memorizing a lot of things that we may apply for the at the college level and university level, that is okay. But at the university task, why we need to memorize a lot of things? And students should give that opportunity so that student can do some creative and innovative things.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and give them a lot of project, assignment, task, and research opportunity. Especially the 4 years we do have, the curriculum for the bachelor degree. We may offer them some, the courses and classes, a lot of classes and courses maybe first and second year. Third year, we should give them less pressure about the class and exam, that sort of things. Third and fourth year, student must choose something. What they're going to do is mean the research topics. They do the research, they do the survey, and based on survey, they give a presentation. And that maybe have a group research or individual research. They should be assigned of a respective supervisor that I have seen in United States and Japan and other places. But even fourth year, we offer a course, maybe mostly research methodology.
Yes.
That is for a semester. But this is not enough. Once they learn how to do the research, they need couple of semesters so that they can do some research at the university level. So we need to reform that curriculum also. So we don't know what UGC, University Grant Commission, is doing. University Grant Commission, they will look after and the university curriculum and development the curriculum, and side by side, by comparing with international community, what sort of innovative and creative, the curriculum they may approach, need to consider that one also.
University, I do teach research methodology. What I have found that that half of that curriculum, it is occupied by advanced statistics. So I have to make the syllabus of research methodology short, but that advanced statistics should be taught individually. So there are some limitations. And when I studied abroad, the last semester was really assigned for research, and I had a supervisor. Even sometimes I used to go to his office. He was a member of parliament as well, and sometimes to his house. And thus I worked in the last semester, and thus I made my research and defended my research. But till now, we cannot implement this type of things in our universities.
Your case is that you found that when you were in Russia, right? So the last semester, you mainly focused on research. But when I was in Japan, I have seen that last 4 semesters, that's mean last 2 years, they mostly assigned for the research. And master's program, it is mainly based on research. Well, that do have some course requirement. Well, you take the class and you give the maybe the quiz or give the assignment. That is enough. But mainly focused on your research,
On research.
you get that degree.
Research master's program.
Exactly.
Mainly focused on
But
research.
till you see our master's program, mainly the
Mainly courses
and theory and
theories.
exam based on
Based
this.
on that. As regards the University Grants Commission, we may have another session, another episode on that. They are working with a very limited resource, limited human resource and limited other resources. And the selection of the people there, not each and every of them studied abroad. So they may not have proper understanding about the quality assurance. Sir, at present I am the director of Institution Quality Assurance Center. So what I understand that your career placement and this IQAC, they're profoundly related, sir.
Yes.
Can you tell us a few words about this?
Well, you pointed out the right thing. I think we better to have another session about the role of UGC towards the university curriculum development and for higher study curriculum and so on. We better to have another session,
yes.
IQC and career and placement.
Yeah.
And today, very briefly, if I say the role they're supposed to play, are they playing the role they're supposed to? That is a question.
Yeah.
If you ask me that question, I said no. Because, the University Grant Commission, only, it's not an office that University Grant Commission, like those who are, in executive level, officer and others, they come to the office and they do a routine work. After that, they leave. Each and every day, they are got a task to visit different university, get the information and feedback, and side by side, they need to organize with the young generation also, future generation also, and side by side, in comparison, do some, the comparative research, where other countries, especially the countries who are good at providing their graduate in proper level, where there is no unemployment or less unemployed country, should give a comparative study how they are managing those things. So we need to get to identify that factors so that we can apply that one at the university level and policy level also. I don't know how many research and project is working for this. We found less. So I think other day, and before going to discuss about this, I need to study about UGC role and their function also in details. Without understanding their role and function, I don't want to talk anymore today. Sure. I do have very basic idea. Based on my basic idea and my teaching at the university level, especially at the private university that I have been teaching there maybe last 17 years, based on this, I have given that comments.
As regards the demand of the industries, I mean, job industries, any kind of industries, job industries, and our universities, there is a very big gap. This is their complaint. The job industries, they are telling that we are not getting the graduates at that level. Yes, what we want, what we need. So what can you tell about this?
Well, this actually information already I have given. We need to see the market demand first.
Yeah.
Then, we do have different discipline. Why we need open campus? So that, the college graduate, school graduate, student can decide which area, maybe if I study in this department, in this subject, and if I get my bachelor's, maybe in the job market, I will get the priority.
Yeah.
The young students, sometimes they do not have that information in their mind, because the young students always think that way, where my friends study. And which one is, maybe it sounds good that I studied these topics, but based on demands from the market, based on reality, we need to provide that information to the young college graduate student, young college students, and then even school students. That should start from the school. Well, if you study these topics in the future, in the local market, job market, and international market, you'll get priority. But if you study this subject, maybe you get, but will have a lot of competition for this, because a lot of graduate over there. So sometimes we don't want to provide that information. We think maybe if we provide that information, maybe this discipline, maybe we'll have less number of students. We should get out from that idea, because we are producing our graduate for our, the like how society can be benefited, how family can be benefited, how country can be benefited. If we really consider that one, we should provide the right information for the school and college student, so that they can choose the right topics to study, right discipline to study, right discipline to be graduate.
Now, as regards the job recruitment processes, the job recruitment exams or Viva or other processes, there are complaints, especially for government jobs, that in their exams they are giving questions like this: What is the size of Taj Mahal? How many wives had Emperor Shah Jahan, like this? So they are very old or ancient, we should say, not properly updated. So what can you tell about this, sir?
Thank you. So, if you ask me about the government jobs, especially last 16 years, so I will have only comments. That was not a factor how talented you are. The factor, if you qualify the DNA test. So you understand what I mean, the DNA test.
I understand.
You have to be, for that regime,
Yeah.
no matter how talented you are, if you belong to that regime, you get the job. That is about the last 16, 17 years, especially in case of the government job.
Yeah.
Well, private sector scenario is different. Scenario is different. So you have to get out from that attitude. The government job, where we need to recruit such a people who can serve the citizen, who can serve the society, who can serve the country. The more responsibility is there. But if we have hired as an incompetent person, only to see their DNA test, who belong to my regime, who do not belong to my regime, so we cannot serve the citizen, we cannot serve the country. And that's why you see the consequences. A country that became a police state, that a country that became and the officer who acted as a leaders of political parties. Leaders of political parties. So we have to get out from that. And it is a learning from the future rulers, the future political party who is going to rule in the future. It is a great lesson. I think they should learn from the past.
Yes.
They should learn. And we need to, a policy, the way we can, hire real talent, genius.
Yes.
A peon, maybe you can select someone because he do not have a significant role for the nation formulation or nation building. A peon, a fourth class officer, fourth class employee, maybe you can hire. But you see the person who is going to formulate the policy, who is going to apply the policy at the first class, second class officer. And if you select those people who are incompetent, how a country gonna develop? That is definitely answer is in my comments, I think.
So we need to make a vital change in the recruitment process of government jobs.
Definitely. Each and every sector, we must need a free and fair. So that the citizens sometimes, some students also say, sir, we do not have uncle and auntie. We do not have someone in the position. How can I get a job, especially the government job? So we need to give a crystal message to every citizen. Well, if you are talent, if you are the competent for this position, you apply, and sure, you will get the job if you are the competent for this position.
So do we have enough faculty development programs in our universities, both in public and private universities?
Well, I mentioned that most of the university, we do have a department, public, like faculty development, like wing. But the question is how they works. Well, public universities like North-South, BRAC, and some other universities, well, maybe IUV and other university that do have a, faculty development wing, and they're really working on it. But my question is government university, that is public university. They do have that wing, but how they work, that is not crystal for me. I haven't worked there, and I don't have, like any research and findings about this. So, but I think the policy we do have each and every university. The question is how they work. Is really working, or namely we do have policy on paper. We need to do research about this also. And there also, UGC also need to monitor that one also. Like department we do have research wing, we do have faculty and development. Are they working really? And if they work, then what is their, the findings? We need to accommodate all those findings so that we can formulate a policy.
How do you accept career changing? That sometimes someone is choosing one career and later he is changing his career and choosing another career. How do you look at this?
Well, the people change their mind, and that is not uncommon. It is a common scenario everywhere in the world. Like first, maybe he was looking for a job, no matter he like it, and maybe he got that job, and then when he see, oh, this is not a job that I have been enjoying, so I need a job that I really like. He changed. That is, I don't see there is a problem in between this. Well, but changing, the track, the job track very frequently, area, which is very different from other jobs. In that case, I think young graduate, I think they need to think about this, in which area I want to build my career and what I want to be specialist. If you work certain times in banking sector, then you move to maybe in chemical industry, and then you move to again maybe RMG industry. So these three areas is different, I think. In that case, well, if someone has a dream to have some three areas specialization, and later maybe he want to do some business, maybe in that case it's different. Otherwise, just to change the frequently the areas, well, if it is horizontal, like the things is changing a bank, one bank to another bank, it is common. It is common, and people that do
He's not changing his career, just place. He's changing his place.
He's changing his place.
Yes.
So it is very common, and it should be, because to develop his career.
Yes.
But changing the career, actually, that is a question, should not be very frequent. If the person that changed the career maybe after having a job for 15 years, then he changed his area in other jobs. So he need to start from zero. So that was young graduate.
If he likes diversity, in this case, if he likes diversity, if he's a multi-talented person.
You have to count your life also. 15 years, you are in a job, then 16 years, you move in another job, that you need to start from zero. But if it is same job, changing the place, no matter.
Well, I myself worked in the corporate jobs, and now I am in teaching. So I have changed my careers thrice. How do you take it? Positive
that is positive. What do you learn from the industrial in practical life, and that the student have an opportunity. We got a professor who has practical experience, who has theoretical experience also.
Telling the truth, it helped me a lot in teaching. When I'm teaching in the business faculty, I can share my experiences, what I had in the corporate areas. Well, sometimes it happens that a doctor is changing his career, he is becoming a businessman. So how do you accept it?
Even I found a medical doctor who became a banker.
Yeah.
I found an engineer became a banker. So, well, in that case, I think, changing, then why he study medical science for a long time? And it's not an easy task to be a graduate from a medical science. And then, that sort of things, maybe some cases exceptional, or maybe he was not enjoying, he changed, or opportunity also a factor.
So he was very young at that time, 18 years or 19 years old. He couldn't understand that what is waiting for them in medical sector. Maybe, maybe after studying or after working 2 or 3 years, he couldn't like it or he couldn't match with it. That's why he's changing. So change is very, very much frequent, I think, in all countries of the world. So if he is doing good in the next job, in next career. So it is positive.
Then it is okay, positively. We can see it positively in that case.
Positively. Well, sir, that did you study the poem, "The Road Not Taken"? In our time, we studied. It was compulsory in our HSC level. The road not taken. That, as regards a student, that he may think that I shall become a doctor. Later, he became an engineer. So that road was not taken. Road not taken. So he may be confused. Was it the right decision, or what is the wrong decision? So, what can you comment on it, sir, as an educationist?
Well. The same thing that we have been discussing. Resocialization in sociological world, we have anticipatory socialization and resocialization. You are a doctor, medical doctor, then you became a police officer. And that I found that a medical doctor, he graduated from the discipline of medical science, and then he became a policeman. Then, in that case, he need to research socialized with that culture, because way of acting as a medical doctor, that really different from, a policeman, what they do. Same, a medical doctor became a banker, so he need to re-socialize. Anticipatory socialization is mean, I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I completed my bachelor's from the medical science, and I became a medical doctor. That is anticipatory socialization. It means he wanted to be, he prepared himself, and he did it. Resocialization, he prepared himself to be an architect, and he got his degree from the architecture department, but later he became a banker. Then, he need to adjust with to be a banker. That is called resocialization. And that is happening in our country, not in exceptional way. Nowadays, we see that one. Well, based on interest. And again, I repeat, opportunity and interest also. Sometimes at the young stage, they think, okay, I better study medical science. And later he found, medical profession, I'm not enjoying. I may not enjoy. So he changed his mind and he chose other profession.
Well, sir, I think that I have asked all necessary questions. I touched all the points. Anything left, sir?
Well, finally, I think, from my side for the career, every human being, especially my comments for the young school and college students. Look, what do you want to be? You decide by yourself. And if your parents have some different opinion, you talk to them, you convince them what you are interested in. And another comment for the parents also, do not give some assignment to your children that you have to. Ask them what they want to do. And if you have any suggestion, convince them logically. Because upcoming and this generation, they are such a generation, we should not give something and give them pressure, you have to do this. But once they are convinced that if they do so, their future will be bright, I'm sure they are going to do this. But need to convince them. Need to convince them that way. No, you have to do this, not like this. Well, my dear son, my dear daughter, if you study this area, you will have this opportunity. And in practical, you will get a job. But if you study that one, you see the future. A lot of graduate is there, but they are not getting job. What are you going to do? Today, I give you support, but in the future, you need an area where you will get a lot of opportunity for the employment. So if you convince them that way, I'm sure young generation, they will choose their right path. And every young, you must have a roadmap. After your school, which area you are going to study? Is it science, commerce, or arts? After your college, then which subject you are going to get? No matter which area, but you try to do better. No matter which subject you are, do not feel inferiority about your subject. You feel that you have chosen a subject, you have chosen a topics that you are going to be a specialist. I'm sure you'll have opportunity in the future. Thank you. And thank you very much for everyone.
Well, sir, I missed one point. It is job fair, sir. Do you arrange a job fair, and does it help our students?
Yes, we do. We do. Well, due to Corona, Narsut University could not, they arranged such a job fair last 4 or 5 years, and our last job fair that was in 2019. But this year, when I came to this office, Career and Placement Center, we already decided to have our job fair in middle of November, and hopefully we are going to have one of the biggest job fair and national job fair for the North South University in middle of November.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any suggestion for our new government, for our new Bangladesh?
Well, for the interim government, well, we need to create a lot of employment opportunities. We have a very potential young generation, a lot of talent, the graduate who are bit some cases hopeless also, and they are the choosing to move and migrate in abroad. If we can accommodate those graduates in our country maybe within short time will be as same as Singapore, will be same as other countries that moving faster. So the most priority we should given for creating job, and also the how can we accommodate our young graduate. They are the fresher, and they are not involved in corruption. Better, we should give some areas, especially in government job, in other sectors, the generation mostly who are corrupted, we should give them golden handshake or forcefully ask them to resign. We don't need that people who are involved in corruption, who are full of corruption. We need a fresh generation that really will work for the country.
Thank you, sir. Dear viewers, thank you all. We had a wonderful discussion. I hope to see you again in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.
And thank you very much for inviting me as a guest.